Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on day 21 of Craftly Haul, and here is the sneaky peek. And we have more beautiful papers, and then I made a small tuck over here. I'm trying to figure out if I meant for that to be a tuck or a pocket. I'm gonna have to look into that. But this was like a little coin pocket from the Secret Garden kit. And then I just put like a little pre-made bought tag in there. And you can see I did stencil it before I put it together. And it had keys in this kit. And I think that was one of the things that attracted me to it. You know me and keys. Okay, now I just recently I bought two of these sheets, 12 by 12, down at Hobby Lobby. And I used one here, and then I kept that one sheet for ages. And I used it over on that butterfly journal that has the 5 signatures. So that's where you've seen it on the inside. Well, here I made it like a 6-inch piece that went all the way through the journal. And it's got a pocket here that has this little pretty in it from a Stamperia pad. And I've got a thumb pull, well, I got a thumb pull notch cut out there. And then this little guy, I forget who I saw making these. It was either Roxy Creations or Scrapbooking with Me copying Roxy Creations. But I used some of the Tim Holtz vellum here over a piece of just regular Tim Holtz paper, which no, that's not Tim Holtz paper, that's just regular scrapbook paper, but I did a stamp of my postcard stamp on there, and then we have a little tag with that on it, and a tag with the butterflies, and then the back side is just where I stenciled it. And I would, that's back when my sewing machine was working. So then we have this little piece right here that I put together. Little collage on the front, just for something cute. So that's what we saw today. I'm going to stick that in there. And then I'm going to show you all the pieces and parts of this. This is only the one day, whereas usually we're doing like one half and one half. We are doing one day, but it has a few different elements to it. Like I'll have to read it to you, but this is the tag that came with the page or the day. This is the file folder that came with the day, and this is the little word chip that came with the day. They learned about the Committee of Physical or Psychical Investigators and its most famous researcher, Ernest J. Brundle. Okay, and then I have other little pieces that I got from other ephemera pages, a couple of pile of papers. This is just a scrap that I'm sure you saw me using this just the other day. I pulled this scrap out because I thought it looked like carpet. And then I got this piece to go behind these two because we're going to make like a tuck. There's going to be a tuck on both pages. So that's where we're going there. And then we have these. This is a letter to Mr. Brundle from the binders and the envelope and everything. You have the seal and you have a stamp. And then you have from Mr. Brundle to the binders. And then you have a whole lot more things down here to use. So we're going to put those together and tuck them on our right side of the page. Still got to cut those out. But I'm going to read you the story now. Okay. As the sun rose, they scoured the selection of Craftly Post newspapers that had collected in one of the empty rooms downstairs. And we have all kinds of piles of newspapers here. Since Jeffrey was sure he had quite recently seen an article that had something to do with these kinds of improbable episodes. It was Rose who found the article again, reading it aloud to Jeffrey, and together they learned about the Committee of Psychical Investigators and its most famous researcher, Ernest J. Brundle, a man middle-aged, apparently long established in the field of extrasensory and supernatural phenomena. The newspaper reported that he had just completed an investigation into a mysterious case where a young woman had been afflicted by the attentions of a ghostly young boy who would follow her around her home and then disappear as soon as she approached him. The case was resolved by Mr. Brundle and his associates of the committee when it was discovered that the poor woman was suffering from visual hallucinations associated with a schizoaffective disorder. Her husband, it transpired, had grown weary of her and had been poisoning her with excessive amounts of amitriptyline administered by a doctor as an aid to the fibromyalgia and tension headaches she had been facing, and thus disrupting the neurotransmitters in her brain. Thank you to my brief stint of medical assisting to be able to pronounce some of those words. Okay, I'm going to find a picture of Mr. Brundle. Okay, these were given to us. I think they were one of the pages. Okay, I had to go look. These pages were freebies that were sent to, when you signed up for her email, they gave you a passcode, and you're able to get into, like, her, I think it's her Facebook page or something, and you can get these free pieces here and there, where she gives you pages. Like this guy, I think, from my understanding and what everybody has been using, this is that Carl Edwards. He's one of the other researchers. This is supposed to be Dorothy Blakely, and then from what I understand, this is supposed to be Ernest Brundle. So I don't know. I always thought he looked more like the one picture. There's one that'll be coming up here soon where you see him walking in this big long coat. He's got a big old beard and a hat and everything on. He's striding right ahead. I think this would look like him without the beard. But everybody is like saying this guy is him. So I don't know which way I'm going to go when I get around to that point. But you had things on here like unsolved and CPI case. So, you know, that this is what a lot of people were putting on the outside of their notebook that was supposed to be Ernest Brundle's like case file for this this Craftley Hall. So yeah, those are things that, and I think they're supposed to be like an identification card or something. That's why they're like where they're supposed to be folded. So we'll get to all this decorating here soon. Some of this offbeat stuff I'm going to be using, you know, at some point I'm going to start decorating, especially since the investigators are starting to show up, at least Mr. Brundle. Okay. And then Jeffrey, feeling somewhat guilty following his own dispensing of narcotics to both Rose and Alice, agreed that his wife that it would certainly be a good idea to contact Mr. Brundle, and so later that morning she penned a letter to him by way of the address included in the article, and Jeffrey quickly ran it down to the post office in the village. A few days later, they received a reply in which Mr. Brundle agreed that since he would be close to the area the following Tuesday, he would make the time to pay them a visit. He had already, he explained, taken a room at a nearby inn, and after a few more days in which the house remained quiet, he finally pulled his Ford motor car onto the drive of Craftley Hall. All right, that part I don't know if I should have read because I think that's the next word chip or whatever. We won't worry about that right now. All right, so this will be a little later, and we're going to put this together. I want to thank everyone for coming to visit, for watching me put this Craftley Hall episodes together. This is kind of exciting. I love this kind of stuff. It's fun. It's just fun. All right. what I had decided was to make a tuck. And the tuck will be probably in this direction. I'm gluing this tag down here. And I was seeing all these people using this, and of course I hadn't got to that point yet. And I kept saying, where did they get that? I kept asking Jody Lewis. She's Jody Lewis Creations, and she's the one that I first saw doing this. And she kind of introduced me to the Craftly Hall series here. And I wasn't sure exactly where that came in at, and then she had to explain it to me. She's probably thinking, just read the story, Rhoda, just read the story. But, you know, some of the ephemera, it was a little mixed up, and I have heard other people saying that they thought it was kind of confusing on where things were at, kind of a deal. So what we're going to do here is this is going to get glued down. Now, what I want to do first, now, I put these on cardstock, like a lightweight cardstock. But there is, I want to put a little cut right in here somewhere with my X-Acto knife. Ooh, I pulled the cap off the X-Acto knife. Whoops. And what I want to do is I want to tuck my bottom pile of papers under this top pile. Okay, let me see if that'll do the trick. That wasn't pretty, was it? Okay, let me get this back in here. Am I doing it the wrong way? It's almost falling off of here. There we go. Okay, and then let me tighten it again. Oh, yeah, you have to be careful with these things. All right, so where is my... I've got a couple little points right here, and I'm thinking that I can tuck those up in here, and they're going to look like one big stacked pile, you know. I think that might do it. I don't know, though. Maybe that's a little better. So I'm going to stick a little bit of glue right under here and right under here and see if I can't get those to connect. There we go. That kind of, yeah, that really does look like it's one whole big stack of papers. And this little bit up here won't get any ink or glue. I'm sorry. So we'll just start like right here and come like down, and then we'll fill in everybody else with glue. And this is the whole big stack of papers that they had to go through. We still got a whole bunch of old papers and stuff in the basement. I don't know what they're for. I mean, we had floods coming into the basement at some points in time over the years, because I don't know if Dad hadn't like built in a drain ditch back there or something along those lines. And yeah, we kept getting a flood, especially whenever there was a good rain. So we had to we had quite a few things that went bad. I know I've lost quite a few of my annuals, you know, from school, and a few other pieces of books and such. I know there was a book recently I just pulled apart. That was one that got caught in a flood. It got wrong. The whole cover was rippled and everything. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so we are going to put this right here, and we're just going to glue it down on the back, the bottom, and then the back here. The two straightest edges. There we go. And I believe I'm just going to kind of tuck it up just a little bit. Doesn't have to be right against the spine. Yeah, we used to have boxes and boxes of old toys and stuff in the basement. Now, I don't know if y'all remember certain dolls and things that we used to... We used to have the... oh gosh, what is it called? Viewmaster, that's it. That was one of the things that I just purchased from the Tim Holtz Vault picture show. I got that because it had a Viewmaster die cut in it. I just loved it because we used to play with those things. Oh my goodness. And then there was Barbie dolls and stuff. Me and my sister used to play with Barbie dolls. Well, I don't know. She had a Francie. She didn't have a Barbie doll. Hers was a Francie. I doubt if you've ever heard of her. She was pre Barbie, because my sister was born in 62, and then she let's see, I'm gonna set this kind of to the side, and then so she had this Francie she played with. Now, the Francie had a flat chest and flat feet, and she kind of looked like Marlo Thomas in That Girl. I used to watch That Girl all the time. Loved that show. I don't know, I guess because she was just bubbly and happy all the time. That may have been it. I'm not sure. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and ink all the sides here. And then this is going to get glued down. Doesn't have to be all the way over, because I can probably cut it at an angle or something. But we're going to have the desk underneath here, so I'm trying to figure out where the shading needs to be for the desk. And since we have a light up on the desk, it kind of helps you kind of know where the shading areas need to be. Okay. Let's see if that works. We'll pull that a little forward and that a little forward. See if that does the trick for us. All right. So I'm going to glue this down to this. This is just a piece of, what is it? 4x5? I think so. I think it was a card base that Tommy sent me. But I didn't have anything to really use, and you know, those are spare, so I went ahead and used that. I use up my scraps quite a bit. I'm so proud of myself. Alright, so let's put that right there, and we're making us a tuck to put our letters behind. That's what this is going to be for. Let me make sure I get all the pieces here underneath. Yeah. Let me wipe that down. And then the desk is going to be going on top. And, you know, I already fussy cut this blasted thing out. And I don't want to have to fussy cut too much more on it. I guess I'll just have to go ahead and do it. Alright, let's go ahead. You can see where I inked the back and the edges. That's why you see the dark. I already hit it with some scorched timber. Now, I went out the other day and played in the heat. Oh my gosh, it was hot that day. But I wanted to try those balled up pieces of dyed paper again. And I have to say, it didn't turn out to be all that great. I think the key with those are when you have tea and coffee in the mix, in the actual dye. Because I used some, I guess it was like the old Easter egg dye. Remember the liquid kind of stuff that you would throw in your vinegar? This is, I had an old one. Oh, that one wasn't supposed to be glue on it. Oh, my God. I'm knocking its head off. All right, let me put it right here on the edge real quick and try to repair it. There we go. All right, let me get it to stick. But yeah, I had some of that. It was the old sours. It was ancient. I don't even know where we found it. But I went ahead and took it and poured it into my water. I put probably a quart of water in my little bath. That's what I call it, the bath. And then I wanted red and blue. I was trying to make purple. I needed purple. So I put red and blue in there. And then I got kind of wonky, and I put some grape Kool-Aid, just the packet of the mix. You don't have to add anything else. And so I put that in there. And it did turn out to be kind of a pretty blue, but it didn't turn out to be very dark. That's what kind of shocked me. So anyhow, I put them out. I did 4 of them against the deck. So I'd get the wood grain. Oh, that didn't turn out very well. And then I did the balled up ones. I stuck them out there. Boy, they take a long time. They're so balled up, they don't get dry inside. I had to bring inside because Mom needed me to take her somewhere. So after 5 or so hours out there in that baking heat, they still weren't dry. So I brought them inside. Had to go with her. Then I come back home, and there was I unwrapped them. They were still wet, and quite a few of them. So I let them kind of air dry in the house. So if you ever do any of those, they're kind of a pain. Let me warn you. But they sure are cute. I mean, wait till you see them. They got that little wrinkled look. It adds a lot of texture to into your journals. All right. Let me see if I can cut this out without knocking the head off of this thing. I'll probably have to throw some more ink on it. Oh, what a pain. Okay. Oh, I see, I had a little bit right in here, didn't I? I was talking to Wayne about getting something to fussy cut a lot of this stuff out, but you know, I don't even know what I'm going to make. If I make anything with this for, Halloween, it's going to be not this. Definitely not this. This is a pain. I mean, it's enjoyable to do, to create and all that, but I'm not good at doing multiples. That is for sure. So if I do anything, it's going to be with the tag situation. I might make a tag accordion journal. I've seen a few people making those. And I thought, that might be something I could try. All right, let's get in here and put some of these raw edges with some color on them. Okay. There we go. I don't know if I can get in there, but that might be as close as I can get. Sometimes if you can't get into a little spot, you can use your pen, like a marker or something, but be careful. Yeah, because you might not, you might cover more than you're wanting. All right, so this is what this side of the page is going to look like. We're going to have that there, and then when I get the letters figured out, now what I'm going to do is probably come down here on this side and then the bottom. And I don't know that I'll need anything else. Now see, that little bit didn't get covered, but that's okay. We didn't need it to be all the way over. I just needed something with some firmness. Now, let me give it a little bit more. Okay. And then we're going to put that down. And voila, our page is basically done. I do have to cut that point off there. And I think I need to also do my line that I usually do up through there for the corner of the room. Okay, about from that corner up. I think that's straight. Straight enough, right? Okay. There. Ooh. And I was just using my micron. This one's a number 8, so it's got a really thick, but you can get them like a number 1, a number 2, what is that, a 0.05. They come in all different sizes. Okay, so these things, this will be tucked in here, and I'll of course see if I can find anything that I can put on the edge here. But yeah, I can still see the Craftly post. Now see, it says that that's the Committee of Psychical Investigators, but they must be another group because that's not Ernest Brundle. All right, let's get the other 2 papers, and we're going to cap our glue. There'll be a little bit of gluing to put some of these envelopes and things on here, but other than that, not much. Not much. And I did do some ink, or I ran it through the printer again to get a little bit of something on the back. Not exactly sure. Oh, it looks like they go together right there. Okay. So I gotta watch where I cut it right down in here. And like I said, this is ephemera 8 and 9, or 8 and 10, I think it is. These letters. And let me cut this off right there. And I have been saving this, well, that's got cut off. But like on here, like where I've got day 21, I've been saving the Curious Case of Craftly Hall, because I think I'm going to be using it. Like if I have file folders or something, I'm going to be able to use that. You know, I don't like to waste anything, especially if it has the name and everything there. Okay. And I'm not sure, but I think I probably need to get my scoreboard over here. So that part is done. And then I'll cut off all of these little pieces and parts. Yeah, when Tracy was doing her letters, she was saying that this is like a 2-pound stamp or something. And I guess it's one of the old stamps. I don't know. I'm guessing. But now I have a postcard. It was actually a photo. But it was, they're made like a postcard. And my Aunt Reen, Dad's sister that was closest to him, she had her picture taken right before they left West Virginia in about April, or it was probably February or March actually, because she was in this little coat and it looked cold as crap. So anyhow, when that was ready, I think he just mailed it, because he wrote on the back of it a little thing about, called her sis, and it was a sister-in-law, and a few other things, and asked her how she was doing. It's real cute. And then he had a Ben Franklin 1-cent stamp on there, and it was postmarked Stone Cold. Oh, I loved it, because that was where they came from, Stone Cold. And but the Ben Franklin was upside down. That was the only weird thing. So I'm going to leave those two together because that's the one. And what I was told was that if you put a stamp upside down, that it meant that they loved you. It was a way of giving them the symbolism that you loved them. I guess it didn't matter, you know, which way a stamp got put on there, as long as it got put on there, right? So, oh, it's just one of them things. All right, let's see if I can keep these nice dark edges on here. It looks like this is a stacked set of letters, the way they've got them. I'm probably going to still run my scorched timber on the edges here. All right, so got that. This is going to be going on the envelope because this is Mr. Brundle's address. And I guess Rose wrote that up. Yeah, it's like Alice was all in the first bunch of episodes and things, but you know, the last few times here, she hadn't been involved at all. Makes you wonder what's going on. All right, so I'm going to cut these out, kind of just like that, and get all these over here. Look, that one's a little bird, just a smaller portion, and I'll cut that where I can get my Craftly Haul word out of it. I probably should have done this in cardstock, but I just thought it wouldn't hurt anything to have it in paper, copy paper. And there we go. I try to get as straight as I can. I hear some people say that they can't cut very straight. If I have a long pair of scissors, it's easier for me. I mean, I can't do the long cut with my little trimmers up there. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. All right, so then you get in here, the way they'll send some of these to you. Like if you get digital kits, this is the way I usually will cut them out. Well, I'm probably going to go around that with some ink. Sometimes they're not quite on the money, so you can like adjust as you need to. And then, if you wanted to use this to make more envelopes, by all means, after you get this all cut out like this, trace around that and make you a template on all of this stuff. That's what I'll do sometimes. I had a whale tail that I did that way. So I had the whale tail and was able to cut one out of any kind of paper that I had. And that worked really great. So let's ink all these up. Get my scorched timber out over here. Give me some nice dark edges. I'm hoping this goes down to the envelope since it's kind of a stacked set of letters. All right. It's always nice to get the darker edges on here. It looks like it's old and been through the mill. That's another thing I like to try to figure out too, is where these sayings come from. Like, been through the mill. Well, I guess that means that it's been beaten and pulverized and stained and a few other things. Maybe that's what been through the mill means. Oh, I was reading some stuff that I had been sent at one point when I was doing genealogy stuff really good. And it was things about the cemetery, like what the night shift was, Saved by the Bell, It had all kinds of great stuff. And then there was one about upper crust and bring home the bacon and chew the fat. Oh, it was all kinds of great stuff. Okay, I'm going to wait for this one and do this one first since it's just a two-parter. So it's just paper, so I'm going to go ahead and be able to just fold it. And I guess you just fold it like this. Now you don't want this ugly to be on the outside. This needs to be on the inside. So then you're going to fold this and have it inside your margins. And do the same over here. That's why I wasn't worried about not having all of that piece. You didn't need all of it for what we're going to do. Oop. Okay, so let me throw some some glue down here. And then over here. Okay, and just kind of stick it together. Okay. Yeah, I got one one way and one the other. All right, I'll just ink a little extra. Where's my? There it is. Okay. So then, if you have something that doesn't quite make nice, let's get that on there first. And then, oh, this could be trimmed. I'm not trimming nothing of any interest there. Okay. I just might want to get back in there with a little bit of ink. And then I can see it up here as well. Whee! Okay. Is anybody excited about the Olympics? I like the gymnastics. That's one of my favorite. But also I love the ice skating. So, you know, that's about the best that I like on the summer stuff. I haven't been much of a fan of track and field, although I love to see these people do what they can do. I mean, how amazing they are. Okay, so this is to Mr. Brundle to the binders. So, I don't have their name on anything, do I? Wasn't that something? Yeah. So do we have to write that up? We might have to. All right, looks like this one. Okay, this is Mr. Brundle to the binders. And I don't want to have it all the way down in there. I don't want it to be hard to get to. So we're going to go just about like that. To where it's going to stick out the top. And let's see. Does it fit? Oh, yeah. It fits. And I don't have... Do I have an address for the binders? I'll have to see. Okay, let's get this one together first. Then we'll figure it out. Okay, so this one needs to fold up here. From that piece to that piece. Oh. There we go. And then that goes in here. Oh, I think I can see it right there. It's going to be kind of hard for me to see. Sometimes I have to take my glasses off. All right, so this is going to be on the inside, and I just need to add a little bit of my glue right there and right here. So right here and right there. Okay, let's put that down. And that's adhered. And then that'll be... I guess that'll be right there. Yeah. Now, it's got a wax seal on this one. Wait a minute, where's my pen? Let me get my pen here. My Micron. Now, this is a 01. Before I get into doing my stamping and all that kind of stuff, let's see what we can do here. Now, this goes on Mr. Brundle's envelope, which is this one. Let me go ahead and put that down. And, oh, he's in London. I don't know where Papshire is supposed to be. It's a wonder they didn't have that on a map somewhere, a bigger map, when they were coming up with all of their neat little ideas for this. Okay, so that's, yeah, I love this envelope. It's so cool. All right, so that goes there. And then we have this, and this goes in there, but I need this address for Mr. How do they have it? Is his, okay, his name is what? Mrs. R. Brundle. So that's Jeffrey. So J. I'm going to just do J. Okay. Mr. J. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Let me bring you down here so you can see what I'm looking at that. And I know it's the J. I don't know how this cursive stuff. Looks like they got an R like that. And then the J looks like a T to me. J. Binder. Okay. How's this B? Okay, that needs to be up like that. Okay, binder. Okay, D. I probably just ought to make it up. Okay, there's the E. And then the R is like a big loop and it comes down like that. Okay. And Mr. J. Binder, Craftly Hall. Oh gosh, that C. It's just as bad as the rest of it. Okay, C. A big loop and an R. And an A. Ooh. Did you know that in the old writing that two F's, the first F will look like an S? I learned that the hard way with deeds. Okay, so that comes around like that. Craftly. Okay, and that goes down like that. And then boom. Oops. And then A. L. L. All right. Lower Craftly. Okay, lower. And that big loop. Those R's or something else. Let's see. So I don't remember R's looking like that. Okay. Craftly. We're getting there. Craftly. Papshire. All right. Okay, PEP. Ooh, here's a weird S. S H I R E. Oh, goodness. You probably said, man, it's like watching paint dry. Okay, let me pull that up so we can get it together. So this goes into Mr. Brundle's envelope. And can I fold this one? Yeah, they made it just big enough. Alright, so let me get that in there. Yep, I just folded it just right. Okay. Now the part with the wax seals, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. We're going to just kind of put it on here. And probably the bigger one. I like that skeleton. I'll be using that eventually. And we do want a stamp. So let's cut the stamp out. I don't know which one is more prone to watching their pennies. I think it might be Mr. Brundle. Because I'm sure the binders have money. So we're going to do that. And yeah, I'll go ahead and do this. I might use that other bird for the other envelope. Okay. Phew. I gotta get the air on a little bit more. It's kind of warm in here. I don't know how people do it outside all day, especially in these kind of hot scenarios. Alright, let's ink that up. And what I want to do is, I think I'm going to glue it to this upper corner right here. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to glue it like right there. And then because they have broken into this, you know, we're going to do it. I don't know if we can rip it. No. I'm sure if it was a wax mold, it's going to probably break across. Okay. We throw that part away. And we're going to ink that little bit right there. And put some glue on here. Whee! Okay. And then stick him down right there. Now, if he's not around the money, that's fine, because they might not be once you've ripped it open. Okay, yep, just like that. And then I think the stamp will go on the front. And then let me get the white knocked back. Now, who was this to? Mrs. E. Brundle. Mystery. Okay, no, this is the wrong stamp. Yep, wrong stamp. There we go. The binders have money, so they can send a more expensive stamp. Sometimes it's little clues like that that really flesh out your story. So there's that. Okay, we're going to stick that right up here. I guess that's where they put a stamp in England. Okay, so that one's done. And then we got this one that is to the binders. Yeah. from Mr. Brundle. And then we have a, what you call it there, but I don't know what that is exactly. I'm going to use this other bird. Cutting off all of that excess. Okay. Now, I won't have to worry about doing a rip job on this one because I'm not exactly sure how they did that. It's not like they had a wax seal on there, but we're going to put one on anyway. Oh. All right, cooperate. There. I'm always wanting to go off to the right. I'm sorry if half of that was missing, but I was just cutting that out. All right, let me get this on here. We're going to finish this up, and then I got to show you my papers, and then I'll let you go. All right, let me put my birdie right there. Yeah. There we go. And I can save those for another time. Because he has his people coming in at a certain time here. And toward the end of the video, or not video, toward the end of the story. So I'm not sure exactly how he gets them in there. Maybe he writes them a note. And I'll need some more wax seals. All right. So this is going to go in here. That's the 2 letters that's been sent. I know I have a little bit of room up there, so maybe let me find something for that. Okay, I found something. I found a few more pictures, which are right here, to put above on each side of the wall. Since this is their study, I'm sure they would have had something like that in there. We're going to go ahead and glue these 2 pieces down, if this is going to agree with me. You never know with this thing. All right. And we're going to do this. And get this baby in place. I hope all of you have had a very nice weekend and the first few days of the week. We were busy with my brother's birthday and going and getting a few things for it. And then Mom has to have me run her out again tomorrow. She's got to go get educated on a new pump. She's got a diabetic pump. She's got to go get trained on it, I believe, and since I'm her taxi, I gotta take her. Oh, so let's see. Get all this down here. And we're going to put one of these photos up here. Maybe this one, yeah. They were extra ones. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with them. And I don't have to worry about running out of photos because there is plenty in this kit. This whole kit. Because he's got a bunch of pictures of people. This Mr. Brundle. I don't know if they're past cases or exactly what they are. Now, right here, I'm going to have to come in here if you're watching this. Allison. This is where I've started the 3rd signature. And this was the first page. It's carrying over from the page over here from the 2nd signature. So what I need to do now is add another page in here. And so I've got to go onto this page with the continuation of this scene. Now when I go to this page, I'll still have to put another page in here, fix it up with the washi in there. And then it'll be on this page and the one over here. So it's, and I've been putting 4 pages usually in to a signature. So that's the way it's been working. I really I didn't have anything really showing here. I could fold this the other way in case I do a cut through and need a background to come through. Yeah. It could go either way. It doesn't matter. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get our ink or glue. Gosh. I don't know if my brain is tired anymore or what's going on. I think the heat isn't too happy with me. I am a fall person. I love the fall. That's what Mom was saying the other day. We both like the fall. I like when it's cool. I don't like this heat. I don't like to go to the beach, the sand. I'm not a fan of the sand. The only thing I like about that is the water part. I love to be in water and play around in water. That's about the only thing that attracts me to a beach. I do like the sound of the surf and playing in the waves and catching the little creatures and finding shells. I do like all of that. That's about it. The sun doesn't like me, so, you know, it's always trying to put something on me. So, yeah. Let me see what I've got here. Maybe I can rub this from the other side and do a little better. There. Now, oh, I bent that back and look at it. Alright, let me get that taken care of, and anything that didn't... I got a little bit to trim here. Let me get this trimmed up. Alright, let's get this glued in, and then I can show you my papers, and we can go rest. Yes, Bobby. Okay, I'm going to stick that one right there. And I'm going to stagger this one. I don't know who all these people are. If they were supposed to be for Jeffrey's family or who they are. I guess it's whoever you want them to be. Yeah, I'll stagger it just like that. Okay, and then we're going to tuck our letters in here that are going to help the binders out. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. And I like how that came together. Yeah. Okay. So here is my pile of papers. I don't know if you can actually see too much in this page. This is the one that was the wood grain. You can see the nail. Yeah, this is the top portion. But it's just, you can't see anything. You can barely make out the nail. I don't know if it was just too hot or what was going on. I can almost see the impression of wood grain, but I don't really see it physically. And see how light it is? This could almost be a pink. I guess I could use it for anything. Now I can see the wood grain if I'm looking at it afar. I can see pale blue lines. Alright, so this is the ones that I dip and I put out in the grass. And then they'll pocket a little puddle here, and then as that dries back, it makes that little impression. And you can see where that blue is coming out, because I put blue and red into the mix. And so this is how they turned out. And, you know, that purple was a wimpy purple. I can say that. It didn't do much. And then here's the ones I really like. These are the balled up ones, and then I unroll them, and then I'll iron them. But you still have the impression of the wrinkles. I love it. And then you'll get a cool kind of design. But because this one didn't do too much, you know, it didn't give a very big contrast. Like my pink ones. The pink ones turned out really nice. I did the yellow ones and the pink ones that first day. But yeah. So this is what I ended up with. I mean, you know, they'll just go into my little storage area there, and I'll use them when I need them. I don't know which side is. I think that's... I can't tell which is which there. Now this one didn't turn out too bad. It's got more action on it than any of them. Oh, wait a minute. See, I don't know which side that is. It didn't do too much. And I think that's the upper side there. And that's the upper side there. So, that's what I ended up with for my papers. Alright, well, and this is kind of cool because you do see it on both sides. Alright, everybody, thank you all my subscribers and viewers for coming by and visiting. Give me a thumbs up, give me a little comment. Just something to show you watched and liked it. Alright, well, thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.